Hello and welcome to my review, the last video in the series of Death Guard related reviews of the Lord of Contagion. He is a beast of a model. When I saw this base in the pack, I thought, wow, there must be some massive model that goes on this base. I mean, it's a 50mm base. It's not a 40mm. I mean, even McNuggets here, he's pales in comparison. Let's just do a little size comparison actually. I mean, yeah, height wise, McNuggets does have it, but yeah, he's got this massive sort of symbol on there, and he's thick, very thick. I mean, even thicker than McNuggets. Right, let's have a look at him compared to his lunch. I mean, a Space Marine. Yeah, he's dwarfing a Space Marine. I mean, this is sort of like the Terminator armour that you sort of are going to be expecting, maybe, when they redo them, if they redo them, Primaris Terminators. But if we just judge him by a Primaris Marine, it would mean that Terminators are going to be similar sort of size, definitely chunkier, but we'll see. Okay, so the model itself, absolutely stunning. If you haven't already, I don't normally do this, but I would suggest you go and check out Duncan over at Warhammer TV's painting guide. It's a lovely painting guide for a lovely model, and he really does it justice. Especially sort of, basically just go buy 10 pots of Nuln Oil and you'll be fine, because you know, you can really darken this model down and then bring out the highlights and the pustulence and the corrosion on the axe thing. And yeah, I mean, incredible model. Lots of detail for plastic. If you actually look at all the sort of 3D sort of detail, lots going on. He's stepping on some Nurglings there. Got this massive wisp. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of like the action sort of fire and things. I'd rather not have that at all and just have this symbol, but you know, you can't really mock the rest of the model. I do like this sort of blade. You can't really see if he's looking at you or not, because there's no like holes that his eyeballs would be able to look through. I mean, yeah, beast of a model. So let's talk about his rules. So he's a slow fella. He's movement 4 inches. I think he might be the slowest moving unit in the whole of the set. And he's as slow as those Walking Dead we had a look at in another video. His weapon skill, though, even though he's slow, is 2+, ballistic skill 2+. His strength is 4, toughness 5, no change there with the other sort of units. He does have 6 wounds though, same as McNuggets, and he's got 4 attacks. Leadership 9. He's not going to be running away anytime soon, and he's got a save of 2+. That's obviously because he's got a Terminator armour. Well, he's actually in Cataphracti armour. That's why he has a 4+ invulnerable save. Now, that goes against him because you've got to half the result of the dice rolled when determining how far he moves when he advances. So that's your downside of getting a 4+. But he does have disgustingly resilient, which is, you know, great if he starts losing those 6 wounds. And he's got this Nurgle's Gift. All Death Guard models within 7 inches of him, surrounded by a deadly aura of plague and disease. You roll a dice for each enemy unit that's within 1 inches of the model that's within 7 inches of him, if that makes sense, at the start of the turn. And on a 4+, that unit suffers a mortal wound. That's pretty good. That, you know, something, let's say this dude is, let's just say this dude is sort of within 7 inches there, and then you got Space Marine there, because he's within 7 inches of the Contagion. That will then mean that 4+ unit suffers a mortal wound. So the unit, not the model, the unit. Example over. He's also got Teleport Strike. So when you set him up during deployment, he can be set up in a Teleportarium chamber instead of being placed on the battlefield. So I'm assuming that a Teleportarium chamber is somewhere off the battlefield, because if you choose to do so, he can teleport strike to arrive on the battlefield at the end of any of your movement phases, and then when he does, you can set him anywhere that is more than 9 inches from enemy models. So that's a little bit like a sort of meteoric strike, sort of counter attack. You know, Primaris player, he's not on the battlefield. Primaris player goes, yeah, I'm going to put these 3 guys, the 18 shot guys, near the squad of 20 Walking Dead. I'll launch them there. Well, not within 9 inches, so probably sort of like there. I'll launch them there, fire everything on them, and then next turn, your movement phase, bash. Launch him there, well, obviously 9 inches, and then you can try and advance, but I don't think that'll work. I don't think he'll get there, but he'll still be able to buff units and things. So yeah, it's a little bit like a counter attack to that, I think, but without the shooting, because he doesn't have any shooting attacks. All he's got is a Plague Reaper, which is a plague weapon. It's strength +2, so he's strength 6. It's AP -3 and it's damage 3. So there you go. That's sort of like his rules and things. How much does he cost points wise? Well, he's cheaper than that bloke drone at 139 points. And yeah, he's an HQ. So I don't think he's too bad points wise. He just hasn't got any sort of range weapon, but the buff is quite nice, and I suppose he'll be quite resilient as well. So there you go. That is the end of my review of the Lord of Contagion. What do you think? Cracking looking model. Thanks ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.